first things we're going to make are rolls. There are two types of rolls that I make. One is the traditional little challah roll, and the other one is the rose flour. And they both start with a simple strand of dough. So I've quartered our dough. Feels like it's about 1.5 pounds. One blob of dough, we call them blobs. It's probably not the technical term. But anyway, I'm going to cut it in half, set part aside, and then I'm going to round it up again. Now when you're rounding, I'm pushing this dough to slide the top under. I'm not just kind of rolling it. I am actually pushing it, and I get a nice tight ball again. I'm going to cut that in half. Each half I'm going to eyeball and just cut into, and that gives us 6 out of each half, so we'll be able to make 12 rolls. We don't want a lot of flour on the board, because if we have too much flour, all the dough just kind of rolls around in place. It needs to be a little bit tacky, and we roll just 6 inches, because we're going to let the dough relax before we try and tie that. If you try to stretch each piece out into a foot or so, it's just going to shrink back in and be hard to tie. And it's very difficult to tie all these little knots with dough that's fighting you. So just go ahead. Have parts that are a little bit dried out feeling. So what you're seeing me do off to the side here is I'm just patting my hand in the dough, flour. I don't want to have all that on my surface. Okay, so those look, rough. But what you do is you pick it back up, and you go one more time. And at the ends, your fingers go up. We don't flatten them out, otherwise you get those little points. So my hands are going up. So go ahead. We're going to work it one more time through. I'm applying a fair amount of pressure on here too, because I do want to stretch that as I roll. I usually work things in batches, doing the same step. It saves time, and it's easier that way just to do the whole thing. So there we go. That's going to be 6 rolls. I'm embarrassed to say that the first time I ever tried to do these, I thought it was 3 strands braided, all these teeny little things. I am going to try and turn to the camera so you can see this. You make a circle, you have a little bit of a hang there, drop it through, twist towards you, bring this forward and then down. See, you don't have to get a book. You have me to teach you how to do this. Simple, simple, simple. Again, take your strip, leave about 1/3 of it hanging, drop it through, twist towards you, and bring it towards you, away from you, and down. You can just make piles of these, put them away in the freezer. You don't have to worry about them. They'll keep for probably 6 weeks if they're double bagged. And so you'll always have them. Shabbat comes every week, always need challah. Especially if you have guests that come over and they each want to make their own hamotzi. Let them do it on a roll instead of a giant size challah. So really you might say, oh, it takes so long, but look, it doesn't. It's just like that. I'll slow down and show you again. Bring it up, drop it through, twist towards you again, then away, down through the hole. And now that the dough has relaxed, see, it's not pulling back. I have my length, drop it through, twist towards you, bring it towards you, and then away, through the middle, done. We always joke that I can do these in my sleep. And I always joke if I could only get some sleep. So I have a little half-pan sheet. We're going to just stick these right on. This would hold more than 6, but because this is what I've made, we're going to only put 6 on here. I mean, if you were doing a larger batch of these, you could put them about that close together, but you don't want to be any closer because you do need to give room for them to rise. And then we're just going to brush with a little bit of egg wash And this is what's going to give the roll the sheen that you see. This is just beaten egg, nothing added. I just use straight egg. I think some people add a little water to pinch of salt. I don't know what for. And I'm brushing it on with my new silicone brush. Kind of interesting. I'm used to using the bristle type, but these appear to be easier to clean. So, gotta have new toys in the kitchen. Otherwise, who wants to cook? Okay, love making challah rolls. Okay, so that's it. We're gonna set them aside, let them rise, and when they're almost double in bulk, we'll put them in the oven. Don't let them get too big. If they're already too light and airy, they'll go into the oven and just collapse. And that's when you see challah in the store that looks all flat and out of shape. It's because it was proofed too much. So we're going to just set these aside. They're going to be almost double in bulk. We'll put them in the oven, and they don't take that long to bake. So 10 minutes max. Just you might need to give them a turn in the oven. Some people like them more well done than others. I like my challah rolls still on the soft side, but you decide what works for you. They're easy enough to do. This is a pull-apart challah, and it's simply baked in a cake pan. We're going to start by taking a ball of dough. I have a cake pan I'm going to use. I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit of a spray so the challah will come out of the pan okay. I like to make 12 rounds. So again, like our 2 loaves of 6 braids, here we have 12 rolls, I think, representing the 12 tribes of Israel. This is very easy to do. So we're going to go ahead and roll up our little balls, doing the circular motion. See how nice and round that comes out? I'm actually applying pressure with the palm of my hand and rolling the dough. You can just feel it. It's dragging it from the top underneath, so it comes out smooth. And that's really all this is. It is 12 balls of dough baked into a cake pan with an egg wash on top. Some people will go like this. I mean, you can do that if you want. I just think it takes longer than just going like that. You can even put the kids on this one. So now I have my 12 balls, and all I'm going to do is put them in here so that I have 9 of them around the edge. I'm going to put 3 in the middle. And really, that's it. The space will all fill in as the dough rises. Just give it a quick little brush with egg wash so the top doesn't dry out. And it also will give it that nice sheen. This you don't really have to cut to serve. Everyone can just break off a piece, pass it around. So there we have it, pull apart challah. It really doesn't get any easier than that.